everyone for viewing tonight. We have a special message tonight. It might sound a little comical, the Negrocious the Great. Tonight's story or version of reality is about someone we're going to call Negrocious the Great. If Negrocious the Great happens to resemble anyone that you happen to know, that's fine. Remember, it's a story. The story is a strange story. But what I'm going to say it at the beginning and I'm going to say it at the end. Everything you see almost on television right now relating to the Islamic Republic of Iran and the United States, I would say 99% or 99.9%, don't want to exaggerate, let's just say 95%, even 90% of that, has been engineered by Negrocious the Great. When the people of America find out that they're great scholars and heads of faculties and university think tanks and what have you, has not came within 1,000 miles in their analysis and in their predictions relating to the Islamic Republic of Iran. The most accurate person has been Negrocious the Great. Now, I'm saying Negrocious the Great has engineered. Now, you got to remember the last 2 nights what we've been talking about. Okay, just night before last, what was said here was very clear that Shias, you keep scratching under their skin and you're going to find martyrdom. We told you here that the fountains during the war in Iran was running red with blood. They had Kool-Aid or something in that. It was because of that concept and feeling of martyrdom. You also can remember that we talked about our attitude about this, that in life we just want to go on about our business. But if we're hassled by the system, we instantly go into a whole different psychosis. Number one, take me to jail. I don't want to be bothered with it. If you don't have no right to be talking to me. You take me to jail. Leave me alone. Are you? It ain't none of your business what I am. That's the way I deal with it now. I may alter it a little bit. But I want you to know what has happened in America. Number one, psychological guerrilla warfare has worked. Psychological guerrilla warfare worked because of one of the best tactics used was old type coonism. Because most of the people associated with it were semi-educated. And those people believe in certain concepts. Number one, pointed noses, thin lips, and curly hair makes smart people. Round features, black complexion, this is the way they think it. Makes you a little slow. I'm going to talk about how the United States was manipulated as a country, but I'm going to remind you how the movement, how we got here as a movement. Number one was psychological manipulation called psychological guerrilla warfare. Psychological guerrilla warfare has been studied in depth. I'm not going to repeat all the books, all the articles and everything that we've studied. You should know by now that we have made a detailed study of psychological guerrilla warfare. First, psychological warfare, then guerrilla warfare, then psychological guerrilla warfare. Psychological guerrilla warfare or psychological warfare is when you try to destroy the enemy's ability to function correctly without having, you do it through media, you do it through all types of strategies. A long time ago, Genghis Khan used to stick poles in the behind of Muslims that they captured to the way they would come out all the way up here and put them up, and that would scare the Muslims, scare everybody to death. Good God Almighty. Sometimes they would take catapults and throw bodies with all kind of diseases over the walls. This was a type of psychological warfare, but it was open psychological warfare. Psychological guerrilla warfare is when the enemy is not necessarily aware of exactly what you're doing. And that's what we've been practicing. Our strategy with the system has been high levels of ethics and morality. So they know whatever we're doing, we're not going to wear these people down. With girls, with money, with all of that, although they continue to try. High ethics, morality. Then, a lot of you probably never watched Kingfish, Amos and Andy. Just imagine the old lightning-looking shows, the old Negroes, 30s, 40s, and 50s. People made fun of them. They made fun of themselves. Even back to 1900s in that era, the modern facilities like the FBI, the institutions, they had no one in the FBI that was familiar with the tactics and the strategies of a person who was thinking from that era. Now, our combination, we've told you before, was a natural combination of youthful black nationalism, growing up in California, being raised, being born in Arkansas, moving to California. And Islam. There's another element that our parents had. My father was born in 1900. That they had to use on the white man just to survive and to thrive. And my family did pretty good down there in Arkansas. But there's nobody in the FBI then, or in the 60s, or especially not now, that even remotely familiar with those type of tactics. That's real strategic depth. Now, so that means when you're using it, the other Negroes don't understand it, the white man don't understand it, you're the only one that understands it. And when you're doing it, you're having a good time. You're having a good time. Basically what it is how to manipulate people during these times and how to engineer them in a position where they make incorrect decisions at the worst time and their implementation of those ideas are faulty. So one, you want to make them, confuse them. You want to confuse the people so that they make emotional decisions. Decisions are not rational. They either make them out of fear or emotionalism. I'm going to skip a minute to Donald Trump, because people think Donald Trump is a great counterpuncher. If you attack him, he can write you out. We wear out the ignorant white people. But he can't touch, he is a damn fool. That man don't know this way from up. Messing with a Negro that's been born and taking these type of challenges. Okay. Okay, so what happened here? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. All right. So, what we did was, and bringing in the term of Negrocious the Great, that would be a great black person with almost slapstick comedy as a tool to manipulate the biggest and the most well-organized organizations and countries in the world. Now we're going to get to it. Today you heard about a drone being shot down by Iran. 2 days ago we told you that the people were getting tired of being pushed around by the white man. And we said if you keep scratching them, they're going to develop the attitude that hold it. That's it. Now we're ready to fight. Ready to fight. Don't make no difference. So if anybody thinks that they're just going to stroll over and batter Iran, like you hear the news talking, the news saying, if they want to fight, they got one coming. Well, just let me mention a few things. Iraq War 1980-1988 was a defining moment for the Iranian military, and it continues to underpin many aspects of the Iranian military. One of the main things they learned in that time, that you got to have your own stuff, you got to have your own missiles, you have to have your everything, you have to own it yourself. And since then, when that war was over in 1988, Iran has been on a breakneck, you may not know it, Iran is number 4 or 5 in drones in the world. You may not know that a few years ago, the Islamic Republic of Iran captured one of the biggest drones that the United States produced, and they had it land in Iran. And in a few months, they showed their drones, and they showed a whole line of re-engineered American drones. Right? That's what they did. So they know about being independent. You can't depend on other people for your national defense. Iranian military planners are adept at incorporating lessons from other conflicts, such as U.S.-led invasion of Iraq and 2006 war between Israel and Hezbollah, to refine their own doctrines and strategies. What does that mean? To modern day. Iran has studied how Americans fight in Afghanistan. They've studied how Israelis fight when they fought against Hezbollah in 2006. They study everywhere how they fought in Iraq. They know how the United States fights. They've studied, and they do their training, a lot of it. They have whole units that they have a United States training thing that they train based on how the U.S. fight. Because of how our Army fights, just like a boxer, he fights a certain style, right? If he's real good, he's hard to beat. But the more you know about that style of fighting, the better chance you have of survival and to counter their attacks on you. To challenge a technically superior adversary, such as the United States, Iranian doctrine emphasizes aspects of asymmetric warfare that play to Iran's strengths, including geography. Remember I tell you how big Iran is? Geography, strategic depth, deep game, and public willingness to accept casualties. Shias, Iran is 90% Shias. So parts of Saudi Arabia, as they used to call it, won't be calling it that way at all. Lebanon, Afghanistan, Shias believe in martyrdom. All the Muslims believe in martyrdom as the highest level of commitment. But Shias take it a step further. So, like when you fight a colonial army, one of the things that you have to be willing to do is take high casualties. Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the branch of its Iranian military tasked with protecting the Islamic Revolution, is undergoing major restructuring to enhance its survivability and give regional commanders more flexibility to respond to potential threats. Now, there's something I want you to know is this paper, I printed it 8 or 9 years ago, 6/22/2011. This is not a new document. Iran's armed forces have tailored their war-fighting strategies to counter technologically superior adversaries. They've tailored their fight. They're not like Saddam Hussein. They go out with 100-year-old tanks, right? In the middle of the desert where you can't even hide them to fight Americans. Iran is not. Iran's armed forces have tailored their war-fighting strategies to counter, technically, superior adversaries, such as the United States. Tactically, acknowledging it has little chance of winning a conventional force-on-force conflict. Iran has opted for a deterrence-based model of attrition warfare that raises an opponent's risk and cost rather than reducing its own. The goal is to inflict a psychological defeat that inhibits an enemy's willingness to fight. Okay, remember now, this is 9-10 years ago. That means they've upgraded. They're probably in the second or third cycle from then. But their planning goes along this lines. First of all, asymmetric warfare. Here come the big old United States, come on in. Now, we done said this for years. Come on in, no problem. Come on in, and there's the cities, you go take them. And then after that, choke them off. And whittle them down one by one. Because just like in Stalingrad, a big army become immobilized in a city. I don't think America would be that dumb to try to take American cities. Iranian cities. But if they don't commit 1 million men, what are they going to do to stop Iran? Let's go over Iranian options just for a minute or two. Number one, if they attack Iran, right away Hezbollah goes right against Israel. And now Syria is a little in strain, so Syria is going to go with it too, because they want their Golan Heights back, and they want all that. Iranian military forces is going to automatically liberate eastern provinces in Saudi Arabia. Automatically. The other thing that they're going to do is they're going to increase the quality and the weapons that they send to their allies in Yemen. Bahrain, where the 5th Fleet is, will automatically be liberated by Iran. Remember, they're in the Persian Gulf. America don't have enough. Iran is not going to let America roll over there and bring 500,000 troops like they did with Saddam Hussein in '91. They're not even thinking about that. Iran is going to cut loose on their behind, and they can taste it. They are ready right now. They said, that's it. You don't have no right to put no sanctions on us. You don't have no right to boycott us. You walked out of the treaty. You don't have no more nothing with us. And we're not particularly, everybody else may be scared of you, but you can see what happened today. They ain't even thinking about it. They are actually now saying, first of all, yeah, you came over our airspace, which they said we'll be picking up residue, from the drone. That what you think a drone was a little old T-90? This drone was a wingspan was like a 747 or something. 143 feet, I think. That's a big. That thing is worth $2-something zillion at one point. I hope they didn't say 180 million, but they might have had 180 million.